Hello everyone, it is June 2023. Welcome to the prayer garden. This is Biblical Prepping and I'm Judith Garten. I hope that you can hear me well enough. I'm going to try and get this video done before anyone starts really mowing their lawns or anything today. It is a very wonderful day today and we are going to do an updated review on the Earthwise chipper shredder model number. First, things I've learned that you definitely need if you're going to buy this chipper shredder, right here on my bench. A good cup of coffee. Pardon the paper towel. My lid broke and I don't want bugs in here. It's gnat season. The second thing you need, a good quality outdoor 25-foot, no longer extension cord. Why only 25 foot? Because the third thing you need, safety goggles. I can promise you, you are going to regret it if you don't wear safety goggles when you feed the chipper shredder. There are times when the branches do whip around because it does an excellent job shredding and chipping. So you will need safety goggles. And put your hair up if you have long hair. Another safety feature. A good pair of quality leather gloves is key. I just ordered my second pair of these Wells Lamont gloves. I love them. However, I go through them quickly. Since I go through them quickly, because I work so much in the garden and I do so much heavy work, I needed a second pair, so I just ordered a second pair. This pair is actually only 9 months old, and I've already worn through the extra padding. So, a good set of leather gloves. I mentioned these before. Make sure you have ear protection. These came in a 3 or 4 pack. I will have the link on our website, biblicalprepping.com, as well as these for our Amazon links, so that you can purchase the items that we have. I love these. They work great. I can hear every sound of the chipper just barely loud enough that I can tell if there's an issue with something being stuck and whatnot. And you want to be able to still hear just barely loud enough so that you can tell if there's something wrong going on. The other items you will need, a good pair of branch scissors to trim off side branches if you do not want them to whip you in the face. Yes, they do sometimes whip you in the face. There is a warning actually in the manual for the Earthwise that tells you to be careful. So if you want to remove those, and often I do, this is a pair of Fiskars scissors. This is model number EA1116. I will try and find this exact pair and place those also in our store on biblicalprepping.com. Your handy dandy hatchet, because if this doesn't work to remove your side branches, this will. This also cuts shorter saplings in half if you need to feed them through on a little shorter basis. Always have your hatchet handy, and a good sharpener is also key because you're going to need to sharpen your edges on this and on these. Eventually, when I learn how to sharpen all of these tools well on our little grinder, I will do videos for you on how I learned how to do that. So we will share those in the future. A good can of bug spray for gnat season. Believe me, if you're working in the garden, especially with leaves and twigs, you're likely to run across gnats if you're in the South. Or in New Jersey, they have them there too. I actually purchased this flea and tick spray for a feral cat that comes around and keeps the mice and squirrels down, which we really truly appreciate his hard work. So we wanted to try and keep the fleas off of him. He's not terribly happy with that. But it does work on me. I spray it on my clothes and on my pants, and I have been able to keep all the gnats, mosquitoes, and fleas and ticks, which I actually have never had any fleas or ticks in our yard. Praise God, because I'm telling you, prayer works. Other tools I find that I absolutely need just for maintenance while I'm working is a 19 millimeters wrench. I use this one. I keep it in my garden go bag at all times, and that way if for any reason the blade gets loose, I've got that right here. So let's go over a few of the things that we love and then hate. Or should we do hate and then love? Hate. I hate the 25-foot extension cord. I want to be able to go from way over there at our house back here into the prayer garden. I'm a good 150 feet away. I'd love to be able to work back here and just feed things through, but instead I have actually a laundry hamper and 2 buckets, and as I come across sticks and whatnot back here, I load them in those, and when they're full, I pull out the chipper closer to the house and chip it. I don't like this stupid ring. I really hate this. It does not stay in place on top of here. However, I love the fact that it gives you that extra 2 inches of protection for your hands and whatnot. So, Earthwise, fix this. This stinks. It's a terrible piece of product. Make instead this bin, this top bin, make this one piece, please, because this, half the tabs are already cracked or broken on it, and it won't reattach to my bin up here. So you're trying to make me buy another piece. No, make the piece useful. I'm nothing if not honest. I should have kept this undone. I love this bin for these size pieces here. This tells you exactly the size you can and cannot put through your chipper. So that's a good thing. That's a pro. I guess I'm not really doing cons and then pros. I'm just going to mix it all up. I love this tamper. It pushes things through. You don't have to get your hands close to the chipper in any way, shape, or form. Sorry, gnats. And it is excellent. Now, another thing I absolutely hate. I hate this knob. This knob, which opens up your chipper, is very difficult for me personally to unwind and unscrew. It's always righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. That's not the problem. So there's not some mix-up in that. The problem is it takes a lot of wrist movement. It takes both of my hands just to get it undone, and then both of my hands, because my wrists get very tired from having to do the twisting motion. It's very tight in here for my large hands. It is very complicated in this area. And tight to move it back and forth. So that's another thing I hate. What do I love? When it's working correctly, it is absolutely amazing. It chips very fine. I have some sections where I've actually put the fine chipping, and it is already starting to deteriorate after only about 6 months, because I did that work in the fall. And after about 6 months, it's deteriorating in the bottom well enough that it's going to become natural parts of the soil very soon. So I love that. I love the bin size. The bin size is perfect for me when it's about 2/3, 3/4 full. I empty it. I don't let it get full, because then it starts to back up into the chipper. So some of what I'm going to tell you now is actually helpful hints as I go through the rest of it. I've been using it now for about a year or so, maybe a little over a year, maybe a little under. Can't remember exactly the date I bought it, but I do love it. It goes up to 1.7 or 1.75 in diameter, saplings, branches, and things like that. I do find that when it comes to chipping and shredding leaves, I don't like it. I would actually like to own a leaf shredder in particular that does just that job, because this does not do a nice enough job on either dry leaves or fresh. There are a lot of times I cut down saplings or branches that still have green leaves on them. I just let it go through anyway. It doesn't chip them up, but it will become fertilizer for the garden, so that's wonderful. I do know that it has a circuit breaker here. This button, it will trip if you have overstressed or overheated your machine. I have never done that, and I've actually run it for 4 hours straight. Have I shut it off in between? Yes, sometimes I'll shut it off for a couple minutes, so I guess that might give it some time to cool off. However, I've run it for 4 hours straight. I've come outside at around 12:30 in the afternoon and just put piles and piles of sticks through. I like to kind of save as many sticks as possible and chip and shred on one day. There is something that you do need to know. I wish I had known in the beginning, and this is key. This is one of the things I want you to do. If you're going to buy this machine, which I do recommend, I love it. It is wonderful. However, if you're going to buy this machine, order yourself an extra set of blades. And make certain that when you first unwrap your tiller, put these tools that came with it, these wrenches, put them in a certain place where you will always remember. I actually wrote chipper on both of these with a permanent marker. I have paint pens right now that I'm going to rewrite that on there so it does not go anywhere. The marker's wearing off. But this is an extra set of blades. I will take a close-up of this and insert that photo in the video for you so you can see. I did not know I would need these. Now there's one real positive about the blades inside the chipper. The Earthwise chipper blades are actually double-sided, which means they're reversible, if you know that that is the case. However, if you use your chipper so much and so long and so hard like I did, you might find that you wore the blades down so badly and chipped them so badly that they cannot be reversed. And that is what happened to me. So if you're going to order the chipper, order at least one extra set of blades. That gives you it gives you 2 blades, fresh, and 2 in the machine, but each blade has 2 sides to it. So you can switch these around or you can replace them, but buy an extra set. I strongly recommend it. They were not expensive. I will put a link to them on Amazon through our store page as well, because that's where I grabbed these from. So let's tell you what happened. I noticed that toward the end of the fall last year, and when I pulled it out in the spring, I wasn't getting chipping and shredding necessarily. I was getting strips of wood rather than chipped wood. And I did some digging, and I caught one other video not explaining that flaw or process or problem, but actually just telling me how to change the blades. So I did some more digging, reading, and contacted Earthwise and discovered that you can actually take off in here, and I'll take a closer photo of it. There is a round disc, and on that disc are 2 blades. Those little individual blades are flippable, and you can change them up and have a new fresh chipping side. I wish I had known that last fall. It would have been so much easier. This is where you're going to need your 19 millimeter wrench, because it undoes the wheel if you need to undo the wheel. Now, as I was working with the dull blades, the wheel kept getting loose. I needed to tighten it. So make sure that you check your disc, your blade disc in here regularly, and keep your wrench handy so that you can check that. Even if you have to buy a spare and not take it out of your standard toolkit, make sure you get that wrench and have it with your chipper. I'm going to do another video because it's going to take probably an extra set of hands to videotape what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to show you how I had to change the blades. They say that it is easy to do. It was not for me because I chipped so much wood. The sap had encased the screws to the blades so greatly that I needed to really work hard, and I actually had to take the entire thing apart. That video, when I make it, will also help you. God forbid you need to replace the actual disc because it's a little more intense than just replacing the blades. However, now I know the sign to watch for if your blades are getting dull. You need to watch the product coming out the bottom, and also watch for this area down here that flows into your hopper. Down in the bottom, this area here will start to get clogged because the pieces are getting bigger. If that happens, stop, allow it to cool down, and change your blades, if that means to flip them around or if that means to change them out. Now, there are some people who will show how to sharpen blades for a chipper on YouTube. I'm not sure I'm going to try that as yet. I still need to perfect the scissors and the hatchets before I do that. So, one other thing I do not like is down in here, and I'll take a picture of this piece. There is a piece that I hate because it gets clogged up constantly. It's supposed to flow naturally with the chips as they go through, and it doesn't move. So that is my update on the chipper. If you have any questions, if you want to know anything, please ask down in the comments. I will be happy to go over all of that with you. I will be happy to answer questions, any questions that you have, and I might even do new videos on the questions. See, this is why I don't like this knob. My arm's already tired. It's just the movement of the side to side with the wrist. There we go. Now it's tight. So that's all that I have for right now, and I hope that this has helped you with a little bit of the maintenance issues and decisions to make before actually purchasing the chipper shredder. But I do recommend it. Like I said, I had the note to Earthwise, please fix this problem with this top hopper. Make it one piece, not two. Please remember, subscribe, turn on notifications, because I'm going to be doing the videos on how to change the blades and how to change the disc. I'm also going to be doing an update video on my tiller soon. It's an Earthwise product, as well as updates through the prayer garden, because you would not believe the changes that we've made and all the work that I've gotten done just since January out here. Thanks for stopping in. Blessings and shalom.